service to the citizens of Bryant, to the staff and the residents that are here. Thank you for being here tonight and participating in this meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the... Thank you. Just roll right over this. Sue, would you please call the roll?
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Clayton,
Here.
Benson,
Here.
Rodell,
Here.
Romero, Miller, here, Higginbotham,
Here.
Mayor Dennison, go on.
Quorum has been established. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for December 22nd, 2015?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, good.
Yes, I did say something. Rob was voted in last time, I didn't put it on there, so I'll need to make that adjustment.
Okay. So, and these are for the January meeting.
Yes.
The 17-minute city council meeting passed in late.
I thought that was on the minutes. I don't remember seeing that on there. You and Christine.
It was listed as in the as presiding, but it didn't have the vote and done. So we're asking to approve the minutes with that change.
With that change. So do I have a motion to approve that change?
Motion to approve the change of notes.
Second. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes approved. Do you have any committee or commission reports tonight? Joy's got some things to share with us. She's going to do that during the finance portion of the business. Anybody else? Everything else we covered during the meeting. We do have an announcement tonight. I'd like to ask Chris Street to stand. He is the new Bryant Parks Director. Proud to have you, and council, can I get a motion to affirm his appointment?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Afterwards, a few of us are meeting for dinner at Vita Ranchetta's for some Mexican food. If you'd like to join us to welcome Chris into the city, you're welcome to. We did that as opposed to cake lunch and morning reception. Okay, how about that?
Yes.
Any other announcements or presentations at this time?
I just wanted to announce that we now have the portal on the city's website to be able to license your pets online. The charge is only $5 per year. You do have to have a rabies vaccination for your pet. But now it's real easy and you can do it anytime, day or night. And then we just mail your tag to you once we confirm the rabies vaccination. So if the City of Bryant website is www.cityofbryant.com. Thanks.
Thank you, Trish. Okay, we have a presentation now, Judge Airy. Over yours. Hi.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the council, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be before you tonight. I appreciate your time. Use the high-tech technology here. That's what we have to work with, so. Maybe probably see this. First one.
Can y'all see that over there?
Move around a little bit. Before I get started on this project, I've got some introductions to make with some people that live in Clayford, county attorney, back here behind the easel. Mike Bowman is the engineer on this project. We're going to be talking about these 2 minutes. Leanne Poole, who is with Central Arkansas Planning and Development, who wrote the grant. It's going to make this project possible. And they'll be the grant administrator on the project as well. So what we're here to talk about is the Collegeville. If you don't mind, I'm going to step around here so I can point the clip to it there. But the Collegeville Heights development is circled right up here at the top. And just to get some bearings on where this property is, this is I-30, right along here. This is north of I-30. This is Raymar Overpass, right in this area right here. So this is Echo Lake Boulevard, it connects to Highway 5, and then you come down to the Hilldale area, and just go north out of the city limits, about a little more than a half mile outside of your city limits is the area that we're talking about. in the Collegeville Heights, this development was probably built in probably the sixties, late sixties, something like that. And when it was built at that time, part of the development was an unpermitted sewer collection system and an unpermitted sewer pond that it dumps into. So when I say unpermitted, I mean there was no licenses blocked for this development. It's an illegal subdivision. And it was built in the sixties. There's about 60 property owners that are part of this development. And what happens is every time they flush their commode, it goes through their collection system and literally just dumps into the pond. Okay? There's no filtration system. There's no treatment whatsoever for the sewage that goes into that pond. There's a levee. There's a discharge that's on that levee. At the time that it was built, whoever built it didn't put any freeboard in this thing at all. Any kind of significant rain event, sewer in, sewer out, just to keep it moving. Okay, throughout the years of this going on for about 45 years, no one's been taking care of this levee, so there's been several breaches in the levee. And so that's even made it worse. Any kind of rain event, just like the rain event we had today, I promise you can go out there and you're going to see where sewer is going through these breaches and affecting the property owners. Making things even worse, many of the people that are in this area are on private lands. This issue's been going on, like I said, since for at least 45 years. I've actually found correspondence dating back to 1971 to the county judge at the time, which was Parker, county, for him actually. Buddy Parker. Talking with and having correspondence with county health officials as well as state health officials. And what we're calling now ABQ back then was actually called the Bureau of Environmental Sciences. It's now ABQ. But no one has ever been able to come up with a plan to try to fix and fix this issue, not only for these 60 property owners that have been stuck with this issue, but all of these people below that have putting up with the biggest part of the mess that you can imagine. So my predecessor, Randy Fight, started working on this issue because he was getting involved just like I've been since I've been in office, trying to put a plan together to try to remedy this. We made application for a community block grant through the Arkansas Natural Resources, but unfortunately that block grant was not approved. When I got in office, talking with Randy about the different issues that were ongoing in the county, this is one of the issues that he brought up to me. We reapplied for that grant, and fortunately, got a letter last month from Governor Hutchinson approving us for a grant opportunity in there. It's going to fund $1.6 million, which we believe will build on this project. So what the scope of the work on the project? Quite simply is we would come in and tear out all of the old collection system and build a new collection system that would be according to the City of Bryant specifications. We would totally eliminate the sewer pond, clean it all up, get rid of it altogether, put a lift station in. And then put a tight line going from the lift station down to the closest sewer main, which is in, Mike, can you step in the kind of that area, somewhere close?
It's, right down, about, the Midland Road,
Something.
in, Owen Creek, that area there. You got, the city has a big sewer line.
Right. We would also, there's actually some of the people in the development currently are water service through Salem Water. So those other property owners that are in the development that do not have, we would extend water mains and connect them to Salem Water. So everybody would be on sewage system from the City of Bryant, water system from the Salem Water. We will eliminate the sewer ponds. It's such an issue that's been going on for 45 years at least. And it's just a great health risk to everybody that's involved in the area. Of course, they would pay your sewer bills to you for your services, and water bills to Salem Water for their services. 2 years ago, when Laney came before this same council, some of y'all may have been on that council, but he asked for a request for the connection to be made if he was able to fund this project. And once he's able to put it in, no cost to y'all, do so according to y'all specifications, y'all actually accepted. Y'all granted that request. I thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much. But I come before you tonight to ask you 2 more things that we can into that could cause us problems trying to move forward with this project. So the first request that I'm asking you for is y'all have a resolution that requires a pre-annexation agreement for sewer services that are rendered outside your city limits. and I'm gonna ask that you waive that. Now, the same resolution that requires that pre-annexation agreement to happen, also in that resolution, it says that you, the city council, on a case-by-case basis, can waive that. And I'll read that part. And that actually, that resolution, excuse me, is 2005-06. And on the last page, it says the city council will determine on an individual case where an extraordinary exception to this resolution may justify timelines as determined by established criteria designed to ensure orderly growth in the city. So y'all can, if you wish, can waive that requirement. And there's a couple of reasons why I think it would be great to do that. Is one, I think could possibly jeopardize moving forward with the project. Normally, when y'all ask for that kind of agreement, it's because the development that's going to happen is contiguous to y'all's property, or your city limits. This is, like I said, a little over half a mile away. The other thing is, normally, it's a development, so you're having an agreement with one property owner because it's the one developer. As I told you a while ago, there's about 60 property owners that we would have to get this agreement from, which would be almost impossible. So the second thing that I'm asking is, this is a federal grant, it's administered through the Arkansas Natural Resources, and that federal grant is a cap on any kind of connection fee that they will cover, and that cap is $100. So what I am asking y'all is that y'all would accept that cap, it's only allowable through the grant, that's all we can pay, accept that as any connection fee which would be required for each of the property. And that's my two requests, and we don't have to answer any questions.
Judge, what's our liability if we agree to do this? Do we have any liability whatsoever?
Your liability,
Yes, sir.
well, that might be better answered by your attorney or whoever's running your waste supplier system. But I will say this, we plan on putting the system in according to your specifications, and y'all certainly will have the opportunity and to inspect it as we go along, and again, inspect the plans that will be approved through y'all, and also inspect it like we approved.
I guess my real question is, when you run this line, is it going to be ran in such a way that we continue in other lines as we potentially annex property along the other?
Yes, it definitely will be. Your sewer system now has a lot of connections to the larger force mains throughout the system. And this one would be available and would have the capacity to serve that same purpose.
So it's really through this grant, we're getting a sewer line that we could tap into during future annexations. Yes, sir, that's my.
That's exactly right. We're proposing a gravity system up there at the site to a central pump station, and the force main back to the system. The force main would be available all the way, and in that gravity system, it would be connected up there, would also be available to be connected onto, and once the city grows to that point.
What's going to happen?
The pond is going to be pumped out all the way to the appropriate disposal site. The soil in the pond, all of it, we'll have it tested and analyzed by environmental specialists, and remove all of the soil in the bottom of it that is contaminated to the appropriate disposal site. We'll haul it in the field, compacted, in accordance with everybody's rules and regulations, ADQ program. The pond will totally disappear. In addition to the pond being a problem, an overflow problem that the judge was talking about a while ago, there's also a big problem with that old collection system. It's all pieces. Every time it rains, most of the sewer winds up in the road ditches and then makes its way to the ponds. You go up there and you can smell it for some distance away.
Well, 2 years ago, when Judge Fight came before, what he asked, the request that he made was, if we put it in according to specifications, when we get a grant to do this, where does it cost y'all anything? Would y'all accept the sewer, first of all, the connection, and then would you take over the system once we put it in? So just like a development would, if you had a developer came in and built a system according to your specifications, and over whatever there's a period of time, I'm sure whatever those regulations you have will be, y'all would take over the system.
I would recommend that if we are going to take this over, that we explore the outside city limit rate increase. If we're going to take it over and be responsible for it, then we need, the Arkansas Supreme Court has ruled that we can charge outside city limits.
I think we already have.
We never
outside the city
Yeah,
rate.
you're in the last break. We did. This specifically
That was our understanding also.
And our conversations
That was in place.
with the mayor and Chris was that they would be subject to those rates that are actually higher.
I'll double check that for you, Mike.
Because specifically because those areas in Florida, people are paying the same price as people running to the county.
If I may, I think y'all's resolution says comes out to see double.
And that's what we were anticipating.
The only issues that I had, one, that worked with the judge on this, is I need you guys to deliberate on whether or not to waive the pre-annexation requirement, because that's not something administratively we can do, because the resolution specifically refers that authority for you guys. And secondly, because of the nature of this, waiving the impact fees, our normal sewer impact fee, connection fee is about $650 per lot. So they're looking at $100 per lot versus what we normally charge $650. And to protect our liability from other future developers, I need you guys to have basically exceptional finding and deliberate on that so that we can create this as an exception, not as a rule going forward in the future. So
I would say the exceptional finding is this neighborhood has been in existence for 60 years, 70 years?
50, at least
50 years.
And I wanted the judge to come and present this stuff so that I could.
It's also a major health issue for everybody.
And they're not in the city of Ryan.
No,
I mean,
but it is
in your planning district.
It flows downhill to the.
everything always does, doesn't it?
So principally what we were looking for is I wanted them to present their facts to you guys, and if this is something you want me to pursue, then I'll get a resolution that will lay out the specific findings so that we can move forward with this. And that's kind of what we were here for. So, there's a motion for me to go forward and draft a resolution along these lines, and I'll do it for consideration.
Make a motion that the staff attorney go forward with drafting the resolution that we just said we would draft.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, thank you very much. And that brings us to departmental reports. Are there any departmental reports to be given tonight? Okay, and that brings us to public comments. This is the point in time in the meeting that any residents that would like to come forward and share anything with myself and the council, come forward to the microphone, state your name and your address. You can get 3 minutes.
I'm Pat Baker, and I'm here to represent my daughter Carla Baggett. She lives on Ruth Drive. Could not be here because it conflicted with time. She lives at the bottom of the hill, and she has a pond in her yard for about 5 months of the year. May I come and let you circulate the picture? As you can see from the pictures, that starts happening, probably February through May. That she's had rotted posts that they've replaced, and but it just floats in her yard because she's at the bottom of the hill. And they've had some drains put in, but it does not help. Because if you stand in her driveway and look up the hill, it just comes right into her driveway. So we're just asking that you consider looking at it and see what we could do for it.
And some of the problem, from what I understand in talking to Carlin, is because of all the overlays that's happened on Roof Drive, that's built the
It's just
road
gotten
up,
taller and taller.
and then it's jumping the curb and going in her yard instead of draining on down the road to the creek.
Right, and it comes into hers, and then Kermit lives across the street, and he has a pond in his yard. It just goes in both directions.
Curbs are laid over on that side of the, on Ruth Drive, all the curbs have failed at that end of the street, and they're just completely laid over, so there's no curb
And so
at all, it's just ground level.
but there's no drainage for the water to go into when it comes down.
It goes all the way down to Mills Park.
Pardon?
It's supposed to go all the way down to Mills Park, but it stops right there where Carter's house is.
Stops right
That's
there.
the low part. And
Right.
it flows
The
back
other
into that
homes-
Holly Lynn area back in there too, I think.
The other homes next door does not have it, but across the street, Hermit can come and tell about his. But thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Becker.
My name's Hermit Gray, I'm retired lieutenant, police force here, among other things. I live across the street from Carla in Kirby on 704 Root Drive. Ever since they put 4-inch overlay on that road out there, it really made it nice to go 80 miles an hour down the street because I used to catch them all the time. But they didn't do anything about the gutters, the curbs. I don't have, if I could let you pass my phone around and look at this. This is today, when it rained. I have never really complained to the city, but I have spent nearly $30,000 to put the piers under my house. I've had water come under the wall of my laundry room. I paved my driveway, and I had to put it, you look at that picture, you see little wooden things. I built a dam to direct it back out in the street, and it still doesn't work. It has really damaged the foundation of my home. And there is literally no gut. The only time it drains properly is when I get out there with my shovel and dig the dirt out to fill that dam you see in that picture. And I've been told over the years that we're gonna get right on this, but we don't have it in the budget. Well, my request, with due respect to everybody, is if you don't do the whole street, just do 2 blocks. Because Carla and I are getting slaughtered when it rains. I cannot grow grass in my yard. I can grow moss in my yard. It isn't from February to March. It's when it rains. Before, the water came down the creek behind my house and wiped out my swimming pool because I had 19 inches of water come. And my house is on the hill. We're not at the bottom of the hill. We're halfway down the hill. And I respectfully request that the city put a priority on this. I've never come here to complain. And I also apologize for wearing a hat today because I had eye surgery yesterday. But I'm not physically able to shovel all the Bryant neighbors' dirt that fill that hole every day. And I cannot get grass to grow in my yard. And it gets my house, the neighbor up from me, the neighbor next door to me, and Carla. And what Carla and Kirby get is nothing compared to what hits my yard. And I literally, when it's freezing, I have an ice rink in my yard. So while I appreciate it being paved, and I appreciate every one of y'all, I really do. I love the city of Bryant. I've dedicated 20 years of my life protecting it. I'm proud of what it's become. But if this isn't a problem, I don't know what is. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
My name is Lita Hoover, and I live at 2607 Mills Park Road, and I've lived here for 30 years. And I've had the same problem for 30 years. The water that comes across Mills Park, underneath Mills Park Road, comes all in my yard. My yard looks like Lake Gray. There's a lot of people here that know that. I've talked to every mayor, from Bishop to Haley, to Mitchell, to you, about this problem. And I've been sending letters since 2014. And I have got nothing done. The city has increased the drain underneath the street at Millmont right in front of my house 3 times in 30 years. It's too big to carry. The ditch beside my house is not as big as the drain underneath the street, so therefore all the water comes in my yard. And not only does the water come in my yard, but the trash that comes out of the ditch, sticks, bottles, cans, everything that's thrown in the ditch comes to my yard. It has to be cleaned every time before it can be mowed. And this has been going on for a long time. And I need something done because the water runs out of Indian Springs underneath the street. Water from each ditch on the other side of my house runs down there. Then on my side it runs down there. So the ditch for my house is getting water from 5 directions. And it's not that big. When it was built, it was, but now it's not. And those pictures, as you can see, my yard looks like gray. Just don't have any fish in it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other public comments?
One more. I'm Emily Moss, and I live on Boone Road. And I don't have any pictures, but I think most of you probably know me. You know what the problem is on Boone Road. The main drainage for Bryant goes through the back of my property. I think the mayor, I believe, has been there. I know which I broad nose. It's a problem. There was a trickle of water when I lived there 30 years ago. There was not a ditch there. Now there's a ditch that I could drown in. It's my problem to keep it up. I'm like the other people, you know, with the debris and so forth. She has sticks and bottles. I have had garbage cans full of garbage float down the creek. You know, that's a lot of water to carry a full garbage can. So, I don't know what you are planning on doing for, you know, the park is a problem, but it all empties from my goes through my property, going to the park. I'm very concerned because the new subdivision that's being built, I stopped down there this afternoon, and yesterday afternoon, and watched for a little bit. They have that holding pond right there at the corner of that property. And I watched them yesterday put in a concrete, I guess there's a drain, and then I suppose that's a dam that they built there. I'm not an engineer, I don't know what they're doing. But I know that every bit of that water is going to also come through my property. That's very much a concern for me. I don't know what your plans are for handling that, but I think most of you know that there's a problem. And I talked to the mayor about it before we tried to cut past the street problem, you know. But before we annex things and build more, we certainly need to address our water problem for the people that were already living here. Sounds like other people have just as bad problems as I do, and for just as many years. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you very much for coming tonight. Are there any other public comments at this time? I would like to share with those of you that are here tonight that have public comments that item number 9 on the agenda tonight is an issue, is an ordinance that is one more thing that we're doing to address the stormwater issues. So we are all, I believe everybody up here is committed to addressing these issues. A lot of you didn't have these drainage issues when you moved to Bryant, but because of the growth that we've we're blessed with, it comes with challenges that we have to address, and this is one of them, and it's important to all of us that we create a plan and move forward on getting that done. Unfortunately, I'd much rather have a wand than a gavel, and we can do a lot of these things a lot faster, but we are committed to them, and we can do as quickly as we can. That brings us to old business, and we don't have any tonight, that'll take us right into new business. Item number 1 is an ordinance authorizing and waiving competitive bidding. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a motion from first reading by title only?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
No.
Question? Yes. Let's do primary reading, and then we'll open up for discussion.
An ordinance authorizing waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the mayor to execute a tentative HVAC maintenance agreement with Milton Heating Air for HVAC equipment located throughout the city of Bryant and for other purposes.
Before Greg starts, I just want to say, I've asked Greg over the past year to take over, kind of overseeing all of our facilities, overseeing the facilities, what maintenance issues that we need, and to address. All of our department heads are not experts in everything, they're experts in their specific areas, so he's making sure that all of our buildings are up to code, that and our maintenance issues we're aware of them so that we can budget for them as we move forward. We have 9 different buildings across the city, and that's a big task for Greg to take on. I appreciate you for that, and it's important. So if you'll share where we are on this thing first.
Well, what we've done in the past is most department heads just call here, they want to work on their unit, their building. So what we've done is gone in and inventoried every unit throughout the city. We have a list of those that I'm maintaining. I'm keeping up with what's worked on and what's not. Realtor came in and marked every unit with a number. So we know if we worked on it a month ago and it goes out, it's under warranty, and we're not paying for it twice, things like that. But the reason I'm asking to waive competitive bidding is because there's several units in our city, especially with parks, that they are the only one qualified to even work on, only local company that's qualified to work on, okay? That can meet our requirements, you know, around time, you call in, they've got to be there a certain amount of time to do it, such as that.
Is the total amount of the maintenance agreement $26,000
That's for every building.
for all the buildings?
That's all we're
There's 3 different contracts, I noticed. How long is this contract going to be? I couldn't see a termination or an extension date.
It's for 1 year.
It's an annual contract with automatic renewal. They have to provide us 60 days notice for any rate increases. So if they want to change the rate, they have to give us 60 days notice, and we have a 30-day notice that we can terminate the agreement. And actually, we have a standard, we can terminate the agreement in 30 days, irregardless, anytime we want.
We just have to give them notice.
But it is an annual contract.
It has an automatic renewal term.
Right.
So if they're going good, it can roll over.
So then it doesn't come back to
It
council.
doesn't come out of council, but if they want to change the rate, or if for some reason we want to cancel it, we give 30 days notice, we can cancel it. If they want to change the rate, increase the rate, for example, say it goes to $28,000, they have to give us 60 days notice before that goes into effect, and we can then exercise our 30-day notice to terminate it.
Greg, having our units inspected and maintenance done and air filters changed on a regular basis, what will that do to the longevity of our units?
Well, currently, it's just done when it's thought about, or when there's a problem, you understand? So, or when the unit burns up, this filter's been clogged up for 6 months. So, it could mean a lot financially, in the long run. You know, saving wear and tear on our units, when they're maintaining the problem. They're going to keep up with everything they do. They have a system that they can, you know, print out and tell me the lifetime of the unit, or the lifetime of the units left. All kinds of really neat things that I think is going to help us out.
Now, will they actually change the filters or
Yes.
just, and we pay for them, or would they pay
two in town, and the other ones are not qualified to work on our chillers and boilers,
I've got this.
some of our parts, stuff with the pool pack.
And we talked about separating this stuff out, but it seems to make sense to have one provider to just, to universal across citywide. And, you know, and we can try this out, and if it works effectively, great, and if not, we've got a 30-day terminal.
And as it is now, we don't have a plan.
There's no plan. Something breaks, we call whoever they go first to fix it. But nothing's done until it breaks, that's the problem.
Is there a motion?
How hard would it be for them to provide us with an analysis each year of what they've done, et cetera? So they've got some.
They offered to do that, and it'd be very easy for them with the system they have.
I think that'd be beneficial to the council and the city. Potential savings.
Especially starting up a new program like this instead.
So like a police fleet comparing the Chargers to the Tahoes to see cost comparison before we buy a new fleet.
Well, also do the same thing with generators. You wouldn't believe how many generators we have in the city. Well, we have preventive maintenance plans on those, but they're just all, you know, I think Joy and I talked about this. It would be better for all of us involved to have one person providing those services.
Is there a motion put on second, third reading by title only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
An ordinance authorizing waiving of competitive bidding and authorizing the mayor to execute preventative HVAC maintenance agreement with Middleton Heat and Air for HVAC equipment located throughout the city of Bryant and for other purposes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote.
Billingsley,
Yes.
Chandler,
Yes.
Romero, Henson,
Yes.
Biden,
Yes.
Higginbotham,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Rodell,
Yes.
The ordinance 2016.
I'll be that document anymore.
Okay.
Last month.
Engineers, I don't get home.
Last time I was here was December. Okay.
We did one with Winter Hill.
Oh, 2016-1. Okay, we're now going to open up for a public hearing. This is a public hearing for the issuance of capital improvement refunding and construction revenue bonds, Series 2016, for the purpose of financing street improvements and refunding certain outstanding bonds. So if anybody would like to make public comment to this right now, this would be the time to come forward. If there's nobody here for public comment with public hearing, I now close the public hearing. And I'd like to invite Ryan or Joy or somebody, Paul or Leanne, to speak about the ordinance that is on item 3. This is Leanne Burnett with Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council. My name is Leanne Burnett. I'm Senior Vice President of Stevens. Very happy to be with you all tonight. I have a great report for you. This morning, we offered $10,625,000 in City of Bryant capital improvement revenue and refunding bonds. These bonds are backed by your franchise fee revenues. As you know, the bonds are refunding your Series 2008 and 2010 bonds and also providing $2 million in new money for street improvements. The 2016 bonds were structured with level debt service at approximately $638,000 a year over 24 years with a 2040 maturity, which was the same maturity as your 2010 bonds. The bonds have a 5-year call, so that means that on or after August 1st, 2021, you will be able to restructure, refinance, or pay off those bonds. They have an all-inclusive cost of 3.47%. And the bonds were rated by Standard & Poor's with an A rating, which we're very pleased for the bonds to receive. Stevens and Cruz underwrote a small portion of the bond issue so we could lock in your interest cost. The bond issue will close on March 31st, which is when the $2 million will be available. And on behalf of Stevens and Cruz, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to work with you, and congratulations on a successful bond sale. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions on it? Okay, is there a motion to adopt this ordinance with emergency clause?
Put it on first, second, third.
First.
Ryan, what should, of course I do, it's been a little over a year since I've been here. Ryan Bowling with Friday Overbury Clark Law Firm in Little Rock. Thank you again for the opportunity to be before you. I've worked with many of you for several years, some of you are new to the council, and I just wanted to have a chance to introduce myself and tell you again, we very much value the relationship that we have with the city of Bryant. I've worked with the city personally for over 13 years, and so we very much value that relationship and thank you for that opportunity. As Ms. Burnett mentioned, the bonds were sold to investors this morning. The ordinance that you had in your agenda packet did have some blanks in it. I've put before you tonight a completed copy of that ordinance with blanks filled in. And so actually, before we consider the first, second, third readings, I would like to just walk through the changes that were made to the ordinance from what you received in your agenda packet. At the most fourth whereas clause, we inserted the principal amount $10,625,000. The next whereas clause, we inserted the purchase price for the bonds. That's the price that will be paid by Stevens and Cruz and Associates at the closing on March the 31st. The next page, page 2, section 5, again, we inserted the principal amount $10,625,000 and the maturity schedule. Bonds final maturity is February 1, 2040. With a high interest rate of 3.625% in that final year. No changes to the ordinance on page 3, and no changes on 4, none on 5, none on 6. Again, on page 7, we inserted the principal amount of $10,625,000. At the bottom of page 8, we inserted the principal amount maturing in the years 2027 through 2031, and the following page, top of page 9, 2032 through 2040. I believe those are all the changes that were made to the ordinance from what you received in your agenda packet previously. As you can see, this is a lengthy ordinance, roughly 21 pages. I know your practice is normally to suspend the rules and read it by title only, but I think we'll have to read the ordinance in full. If you would like to listen to me read it 45 minutes or an hour, I'll defer to the wishes of the council.
Are you getting paid by the hour?
Yes, yes, Council, I have a motion to put on first, second, third reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
An ordinance with an emergency clause. An ordinance authorizing the issuance of sales of capital improvement bonds, Series 2016, for the purpose of financing street improvement and refunding certain outstanding bonds, providing for the payment of the principal and interest on the bonds, prescribing other matters relating thereto, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
This will be a roll call vote.
Second. Second.
All in favor, say roll call vote.
Billingsley,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Platinum,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Rodell,
Yes.
Romero, Chandler,
Yes.
Higginbotham.
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Billingsley,
Yes.
Romero, Vincent,
Yes.
Rodell,
Yes.
Platinum,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Chandler,
Yes.
Higginbotham.
Yes.
This will be ordinance 2016-2, has been adopted with emergency clause by the Bryant City Council. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank Ron Bowman,
Lynn, Burnett, and Paul Phillips for y'all's work on this and helping us through on this. Thank you very much. It's very nice doing business with all of you.
Thank you all very much.
Mayor, with the new monies that will be coming to the street department, will we, the council, be in on the street finalization and what's going to be on that money at a later date?
Y'all have already taken action on that, and it will be going towards the on-off ramps as the Bay Martin.
I thought this is what this was.
We've already got, so that's where, y'all already made that determination, and that's where we're going. Thank y'all for your support in that as well. Now we'll have the presentation and approval of the 2016 January year-to-date financial report. George?
Now, after that little bit of excitement, back to mundane, everyday details. On the January report, I've got several things to note. It's been a very, very busy month, so there were a few things that were left out of the report. The fuel bill report was not in January, so we'll have two probably in February. Workers' comp and the vehicle insurance. On page 52 and 54, the water and wastewater transfers, I have those on hold. Let's see, on page 6 of the report, I need to switch the operating and the revenue account words to match the funds correctly. That's actually been incorrect for I don't know how long, but I discovered it this time. And page 31, the beginning balance on, or page 7, Fund 31, the beginning balance should be $60,067, not $99,747. On page 8, too, in relation to the bonds, the funds labeled 145, 146, 181, and 182 will be replaced by the new bond funds, and you'll see that probably on my March report because it's going to close on March 31st. So, let's see, also on the cash page, the 42,000 days, that's a typo, and we're going to have an adjusting entry to the designated tax. But like I said, there's just been a lot going on in January, so I wanted to point those out to you guys. Did anybody have any questions on the January report?
I have a question on the water, wastewater, on the revenues. They're about half. Is there something that
That's
didn't
the
come in?
transfer. That's the transfer that I was talking about, and I'm actually holding that because I'm thinking about changing the budgeted amount on the transfer. So I just want to go a little bit and review that. It's not any indication of anything other than just me wanting to look at it and, review. So I can go over that more with you in detail later if you'd like more background on it, because it's kind of a complicated, the transfer part.
The designated tax summary
Mhm.
on the administrative, is that how we ended up the year?
No, that's actually the designated tax change that I mentioned briefly too. I can actually, if you want me to put a list with the page numbers of all the things that I just read into the
So
record.
that went into what this total is?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's basically, we typically make an entry every month, and we didn't make an entry in January. We just had so much going on in January that we were doing all we could do to get it closed out, so.
For motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, council. Next is the resolution to amend the 2016 budget.
I've got just a few comments on this as well. I've tried to put more of the comments out to the side to let you guys know kind of where we were transferring, moving things. And as I told you guys last year, I'm gonna try and only bring budget changes to you guys once a quarter if possible. So right now, I do not know of anything that will come to you next meeting, and I'll try to hold off and maybe do it the meeting after, but that's just a goal. We might not get there. I've got several items on here listed as clean up old accounts. The senior money, I'm moving that money forward from the project that you guys approved last year. There's a couple of big Spillman amounts that are on here to do with the Spillman project. Also, I finally got in the final numbers to do an estimate for the Windstream revenues. The Kings Crossing project, that's money that they actually have already given us the check, and we're gonna do the project for them.
And then I wanted to draw attention and give kudos to Leon Black and our street department for actually building a Bryant machine instead of us having to spend the $50,000 to buy one. So we're going to use that money for something else. So, and then also I wanted to draw your attention that we have a couple of sidewalk grants pending. And I haven't brought those adjustments, they're not in this list, but they will have to be brought to council in the coming months as we get further along in those sidewalk projects. One of them came to you guys last year, and the other one is a new one, so just be, put those in the back of your mind. Did anybody have any questions on the details?
What is Leon doing?
Is he here by any chance? Instead of doing salt, I think they're doing, it's for, putting.
Say Brian?
Brian.
The computer hardware, which is the Gilman, it wasn't in the budget before. Is that what mainly affects the $85,000 adjustment?
Yes, that's the main item, and a lot of that money is in there already, but this is for putting things into the fire trucks for them to use, more fully use this building. There's a potential that if we don't make a second payment on this, we have some play in our contract of when we're going to make these payments. I mean, we might not need to spend all this money this year, but I won't know that, and they won't know that. We have a very aggressive spending schedule on doing our rollout. So I just wanted to go ahead and do this now in case.
This is in the police and the fire department.
The police and fire both, we're putting it in the trucks and the cars. And we're also needing to go ahead and bring this to you guys now so we can get an even better deal on our laptops. Any other questions?
Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
I move resolution 2016-6. First is Ms. Charlotte. We have a job description change. I don't know. Is it the director's position or the assistant? Director's position. Where is some changes?
The job description is attached, I've highlighted the changes that we made. It is a budget neutral change process we're in. We're just changing the wording. It didn't have a financial impact to it. It's simply to more accurately describe the role of the parks director, and then also did a piece in there about some of the responsibilities and certifications that we'd like to look for in the packet. Just verbiage changes.
This is the guy we hired him to repeat things. That's good.
Good news.
We had that discussion.
We talked about that.
So all these certificates and licenses will give time to get those acquired if they do not have them.
They're listed as preferred, so they don't have to have them. We would like to see them. And I would imagine as the job unfolds with the person who's holding it, if we feel a need to provide those certificates or get training with those certificates, we would discuss that as we come.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second it.
I have one more question. Do we allow the city vehicles to be taken out of city limits, even if they live outside the city limits?
It depends on the position. That's my understanding at this point. It varies for the position. I can give you more information on if we have a specific position we'd like to do.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next, I'm not in that, thank you, Shirley. This is approved for sponsorship agreement with Everett. Everett and Lifestyle and Washington Paul Johns and Gordon and State Farm. John is doing a fantastic job securing the sponsors. We did have somebody in our city from another prominent city in the state of Arkansas recently, and they were astounded at the sponsorships that we have in Bishop Park. We have similar facilities in your city, and they said they didn't have anything like that. So I just want to give a big shout out to the Parks Department for working with our businesses in the community, and it's a reflection of you guys, and it's also a reflection of the great community support that we have in our city. So thank you.
set for that.
Let's do old and accept.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So if there's no other questions at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the Everett UGMC, Lifestyle Minchies, Papa John's, and State Farm sponsorship agreements.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Carlton Millen says going to recuse himself in this next vote. Do I have a motion to approve the sponsorship for Corzine?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
One recused and one absent.
Just slid in.
I'll entertain,
Yes, please.
I'll entertain Greg Thompson. He took the lead on the sponsorship agreement for the past 2 months. He has worked very hard for that, so I want to thank Greg Thompson for leading this
And next, presenter is Greg Hutz. This is item number 9, the last item of the night. And this is an ordinance establishing the City of Bryant Stormwater Management Utility Fund and establishing the Stormwater Management Utility Fund fee for municipal utility customers. Let's first see, first reading by title only, and then we'll open the discussion. Do I have a motion to put on first reading by title only?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So we have first reading, we'll open the floor for discussion.
An ordinance establish the City of Bryant Water Storm Management Utility Fund and establishment of the stormwater management utility fee for municipal utility customers within the City of Bryant, Arkansas, and for other purposes.
Floor is now open for discussion.
Do we have an estimate on cost of identified projects?
I'm sorry?
Do we have an estimate on cost on identified projects that we currently have?
I don't have any idea, it was about in the last year.
And it's in your budget, it's in your budget materials.
Well,
About 3 million.
That
It's
list that I
right
sent,
at
it's
3 million.
roughly about $3 million.
It's roughly $3 million.
that list I sent you.
How much revenue does the proposed fee, tax, whatever, mean to the citizens?
It's been a while since I did that calculation. Do you remember? Yeah.
I think it was, we were looking at 3 million, that would cover the bonding of 3 million over, it's like $350,000.
Per year?
Yeah, I think the revenue is about 300,000 or so.
It's just
$3 and $6?
$3 and $6.
$3 for residential, $6 for commercial, we'll get 300,000 a year.
I think that's right.
That's right.
I'm not the
That's
other
what
person. I'm just-
one Ben gave me, had that on it. Right at 300,000.
Yeah, at some point I had calculated.
We've got about 800 commercial locations, and then we've got 8,700, and then 9,000 water customers and about the market, so.
$3,271,745.
Is that the cost project?
Yes.
How much was it?
$3,271,745. What was in the budget at one time?
Those are all the projects that I identified over several years that needed immediate funds. But if we work ahead and do this and combine the money, we can take care of these issues. And these are the issues that have been going on the longest.
How long is the bond?
Oh, we have
We haven't looked at it yet.
We were just looking to make sure that we had that possibility in time.
Other than spending $300,000 a year fixing problem here, problem there, the bond money to get it all done.
How much, not that you know, but what would the terms in the bond be?
If they ever see we're doing it.
Before, and
Not that you're real about this, that.
we just made 3.9%, but my suggestion would be, you have other alternatives, okay? Another alternative would be, and I got nothing to do with it, okay? But another alternative would be go to A&RC, borrow $3 million or $3.5 million to do all the projects, pledge that revenue stream to repay the debt. That way you get the money right now, and you can pay it out over however long you pay it out, 20 years.
We wouldn't want that.
I mean, sorry.
ARC's a state.
Yeah, but what you do is you would take, you will have a 10-year call on, you know, you have a 10-year call.
Basically, we would need to look at, is it worth going to the public market to bond it? Or is it something that we could do through like what we did earlier? Is this revenue stream that we could use and use the cruise or some other firm like that? Or is it something we could do through an institutional provider, say for example, if the bank qualified, depending on how much money we have bonding stuff we're doing each year versus an ANRC loan? We would look at all those different options as to what is the best, what do we get the best bang for our buck? I know one of the other issues that has been raised is whether or not it's fair for commercial on this. In my conversations with Ben, there are firms that can help you develop and study the impact of commercial impervious surfaces. One of the things I think is right now we don't have the resources to fund that type of work to identify how best to charge that type of stuff. This could be one of those ways to help do that so that we can develop the evidence necessary if somebody wants to challenge our fee structure if we wanted to change it in the future.
Just for informational purposes, paved surfaces produce 10 to 20 times the runoff that a natural surface produces. If you have a 2-acre parking lot such as the one across the street, and a 1-inch rain, it's going to produce 52,000 gallons of water. So, you know, I think we can justify the higher fee too.
Well, and I don't disagree with you, but I need the actual,
Well, I hope not.
I want the actual data. What I want is if we get challenged on it, I have an expert I can put on there that helps say this is how we came to this fee structure.
I never claimed to be an expert.
But we could have a 10-year sunset on this type of ordinance whenever we would pay this $3 million back, though. We could take this fee off at that time.
You could, the only concern I would have is if you put that in there in ANRC, we need to find this out for 12 years, then we've limited, you know, they run those numbers, so I don't know what that is. Whether a 10-year period would be sufficient to pay for the $3 million, I don't know.
Plus, I mean, we're doing a lot of new developments which have the impact that he's talking about. We had changed our codes to incentivize people to do impermeable or permeable surfaces. So the concept, the problem's gonna go away. I mean, it's not gonna go away. It's gonna actually get worse.
The problem's going to
As I may or may not have argued with somebody about this today, we should focus on fixing the problems that are already created for new ones. But is it fair for those people that, it's fair for all the citizens involved?
Can I answer that question?
I guess you can.
I pay personal property tax every year. I haven't had to get in school for a long time. But I'm still having to pay for it. So is it fair for me to pay for that?
That's a tax.
Yeah, it is,
That's a
because
tax.
that's my responsibility as part of this community.
That's a tax.
Everybody that lives in this community has a responsibility to pay for it. Whether you see it directly or not, your benefit.
All the voters vote on the tax rate for personal property.
I don't know what I think.
You like the property.
I'd also like to add that living in a community like Bryant with the expectation of quality of life that we all have, protecting one another's property values as a community, whether it's our property or our neighbor's property, is a responsibility that we all need to share in. And when we make the work area
Would this benefit the people that are here tonight? They're on that list.
On except invoice.
But that maybe address if we ever get to do
Right.
lighting and the work on Boone Road, the curb and gutter that needs to be there to begin with.
There's involved in the drainage.
It's the
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Two
So
motions.
we have six, we have six in favor. For reading.
No,
An ordinance establishing the city of Bryant stormwater management utility funds and establishing the city stormwater management utility fee for municipal utility customers within the city of Bryant, Arkansas, and for other purposes.
Oh, that's great. For point of clarification, you work on the absent voters and no? Okay.
You have to
I
have
just
six
wanna make sure-
positive.
I know, I just want to make sure I didn't hear a second that's here. I want to make sure I was counting the same two you heard. Thank you.
I'd like to structure that, just be what we can approve the final budget.
Is that a motion to table?
I shouldn't have to make a motion because we're not making the vote on it.
No.
But if you're asking for it to be postponed,
No, this is the only, this is the only,
I'll second that motion.
this is the motion.
well, when you're dealing with, I mean, we relax in a lot of things, but when you're dealing with something that is issuing a fee, potentially, I want to make sure that we procedurally do it, which means procedurally, you're asking that we table this until next month.
Make a motion, we have the adoption on this issue for next month.
There's a second for that.
Okay, open for discussion.
Why? Don't, I would like to know your reason behind what you say. This thing has been out there for a while. At some point,
It's been under discussion.
yeah, but at some point, it's,
There's a reason, there's three
it comes a
reasons.
time,
There's
it comes a
three
time
reasons
by
why
the
this
board
should
to
be.
do it.
I understand.
So, what do you gain? I'm asking for a question, what do you gain by the language?
What's the big one that way tonight?
Well, one thing is that even if we do it tonight, it actually won't affect the possibly what April doing. So, I mean.
Actually, it'll be May.
Yeah,
It's
May,
the first billing
so-
cycle following 60 days after that.
And with inclusion of it, new fund and everything, we do not want to do that. That's all
I just think, I think it's important, but we got to quit kicking the can.
By having a reading though, the three readings now it's actually published. It's never been published, and now it's published as your $3 and your $6 as your fees, and it's gonna be sitting on the website for people to review.
We didn't have a full house tomorrow night.
I think we waited long enough. We've had this discussion a couple of times. I mean, I personally think we should just go ahead and
It's not like
either
this
move it forward or don't move it forward, but let's have the vote and let the people know what we're gonna do or not do.
There's currently a motion to
Okay, there's a
table
motion
second.
and a second.
So you need to vote on that, whether it will table or not.
It'll take a majority, to table this. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
No.
Roll call vote.
I think that's a roll call vote.
Billingsley,
No.
Chandler,
No.
Gladden,
No.
Henson,
No.
Rodell,
I'll go down swim with the deal.
Carmina,
No.
He votes yes.
It really does.
He told me.
Miller,
Yes.
and Higginbotham.
No.
Motion passed. Motion failed. Motion failed. It is not tabled. So is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Need a roll call vote?
Okay, Billingsley,
Yes.
Chandler,
Yes.
Gladden,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Rodell,
No.
Carmina's absent. Miller,
Yes.
Higginbotham.
Yes.
Six. When this passed by 6 votes, it will go into effect in 60 days. Ordinance 2016-3. And that brings us to a close. The only comment I have tonight is I would like to personally thank Bryant. He really stepped up over the last couple of months.
I can't tell him from Brandon's shirt now.
Okay, council, if you don't have any comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Y'all be rich.